Hello everyone, and what is going on? Hyperion-Blue-GT here. Welcome back to Gran Turismo 7 Part 133. With 3 races in Group 1 Prototype Series as the main menu book, it's about to go entered on race number 4 at Fuji International Speedway. By the event directory after finishing from Part 132 at Circuit de Saint-Clerc in C-Course layout by using the Toyota TS050 Hybrid. Very good LMP1 race car, and of course to be much more thrill and successor than the Porsche 919 Hybrid that have a different LMP1 performance. For this part of the segment video, by entering race number 4 at Fuji International Speedway in Group 1 Prototype Series, this will have to take one straightaway and few corners to have Sector 1 and Sector 3 by taking the downhill and go hill climb to have a series of tight corners that you guys have already done this so far since the World Touring Car 800. But tire wear and fuel consumption rate to go by 10 times and 10 laps as well. I'll have to get back and grab the Toyota Gr.1 Hybrid with the UDRS Insportec to go on Fuji Speedway after race number 1 at Suzuka Circuit. But not to mention, there's going to be having some 2 tips from Takuma Minasono and Simon Bishop before enter the start of the race. Just to have long straightaway and few corners to go on turn number 1 in Sector 1 and the final corner in number 16 at Sector 3. There they are right now. Let's give both of them to have some important tips. I'm Takuma Minasono from Japan. So long as it doesn't rain, I intend to compete this race on one set of hard tires. But to do that, I'll need to hold back a bit and conserve my fuel. Alright, that's one tip to be checked. And Simon Bishop from tip number 2. I'm Simon Bishop from New Zealand. Pleasure to meet you. I hear that weather-wise on this track is a bit of crapshoot. So you'd be wise to expand your MFD weather radar and keep an eye out for rain. Got it and check, Simon Bishop. Just gonna have to go by crap rise, might be doing a bit more potential and wise to be giving a good potential on the driving course. So I'll have to be sure to switch back into a hard racing compound tires, and let's get ready up. Embrace the Le Mans hybrid car to be set on the 20th, then the first turn to go early braking at the TGR corner to go underway. Here I go, folks. Proper braking. Then stay on gear number 2. Okay, good respawn torque balance check. Avoid taking too much oversteer. And then same goes to the Coca-Cola corner on turn 3. Got the pull hard right on the 100R in turn 4 and 5. Applied in the brake in turn 6 hairpin. Okay, gonna have to go kick back and take that quick effect by counter steering. Third sector on the chicane, then hill climb. Now all I have to do is gonna have to take a good proper line on the 13 without taking too much contact by the rear from behind. Same goes to the Neds and Panasonic on the 16. Got to be on alert. Got to stay on the inside of the apex to go around on the Panasonic. Let Daniel Solis to go past and get back up on Power 1 to go extreme by the drag race of speed. First lap down. Moving up on lap number 2. Okay, gonna have to stay behind on Kawakami in the 2016 Audi R18. Same pattern as before, but I had to keep a good watchful eye on the weather radar in case of rain forecast during the part of the decent practice session before this one is go by the new attempt. But I always done this many times and just tried to go by brainstorming to have this segment will go a matter of 90% perfection. There we go, moving up to the 12, got to stay defended and try not to take too much oversteer when going hill climb on the dirt sector. Come on, just gonna have to go overtake Ryuta Kokubun's position. Got to stay around and get back on the 16. Adam Wilk took the lap time by the faster in a minute 35.17 seconds. That's very good. Moving on the dirt lap. Got a good eye on Baspi Boris on the 2015 Nissan GTR Nismo LM race car. Got to go overtake on Igor Fraka in the Sauber Mercedes C9. Get back on Sector 2. Turn 6 hairpin check and well on the balance torque of the grip. But looks like forecast incoming, light percent the rain, and this will be doing a one-step pit stop to go by earlier as possible before taking on to have the next part of the lap in number 4 or number 5. I'll have to be sure that racing intermediate tires to have a one step of minimum requirement to have some good reminder tip. But good thing Takuma Minasono is gonna have to put me on the heads up tip. Then this will have to take a matter of grip balance to go slow and patient. When it comes to hit the green on Fuji Speedway, this could be big trouble for every Group 1 cars, so I had to keep that in mind. Alright, back down on Gear 1. Moving to the 7. Overtake on Mikhail Hisao on the Dodge SRT Tomahawk Vision GT Group 1. Hold it steady. It's not yet going to be far. Much apparently because the forecast might be going a bit more percentage by slightly reduced. But I'm always gonna have to let my guard down and just try to keep pushing up by the commit turns and corners. Okay, back on the 16 in Panasonic. Surface percentage is gonna have to be a lot more slower to be on the decrease. But speaking of which, this one might have to take early pit stop times to go on lap number 4. So I had to follow Baspi Boris and grab the racing intermediate tires in case of wet surfaces might be going a bit more tougher and intense on the grip. Well heck, it's about time to go racing in the rain. Just like having a good road racing from the FIA World Endurance Championship to have one Toyota Gr.010 hybrid. That might be quite giving a good brilliant to be successful and strategy to go by forecast and conditions. But there it goes. Simon Bishop is off the track and Baspi Boris is now going slow down then get back on the track. So I had to watch my six. This could get more slower, then turns a bit more ugly. Stay with us, T. Yamanaka. We might need you, and learn to be patient. Okay, green's out. Got to be more caution and avoidable without getting caught in the penalty. Adam Will gets slowed down. Now's the time. Then go on the offense by proceed and overtake. Alright, there we go. Takuma Minasono is slowing down. Got the follow with Jay Wong. Just one at a time. Just drive slow without getting compromised, without ignoring the yellow flag signal to receive a penalty. There goes Barilio Gallo. He's slowing down. Got to be more decent patient. And Nicholas Rubiller is on the first position by the update in the grid. Now then, on to do the matter of defense strategy, and rain condition is just more perfect as I ever thought would be. 4 more laps to go. It's about to go full slippery on the asphalt. I'll have to play nice and just have a good smooth paved strategy. So I hope Ryuta Kokubun is moving up on the second, Ed Portilla is on the third to be updated by the grid. Much other racers might need to go to the pit soon as possible during the rain forecast is very more important to be served on the temporary mandatory requirement to be practiced. But of course, it could be going much interrupted during the dry session in practices that might need to go by extra when it comes to have rain. Just look at the green and steer. That could be very slightly bad idea. Yep, of course, I just really need to be a bit more careful next time in case of heavy wet tires to be in use. But that could be embarrassing, but it does have to take more patience to go more grip. Okay, gonna have to stay on the line. I'll have to be sure a bit because this one is very more slower and more patient. To have the yellow spot is going to be a bit more heavier, just like the modest one to go in green. Oh boy, looks like Kokubun is attempted to catch up to my current position, and he is going to the pits. Still have enough time and have enough spare. I really hope this race will have to go again for only one weekly challenges after Daytona International Speedway by road course for having a return of the comeback. But I still have enough time for only 2 days to go. After all, lap time challenges and weekly challenges is all I have to do for only a matter of schedule to go by late. But sometimes I prefer to be as usual to go earlier at the start. Change of plans and just gonna have to go by traction 4, so I just don't want to get myself to have enough spin out like last time from the previous lap. Talk about having a most difficult racing surface on the rain. Come on, just gonna have to keep pushing and climb back up. I'll have to promise myself I just really need one race to have a good perfection when racing to face the rain. Just like Willow Springs International Raceway for only one historic race car in Neo Classic competition. So let's check again on the radar. Just yet to be lighter, and the forecast is coming around and partly cloudy. 2 more laps to go. Gonna make it count and just stay on lean 6 to have a purpose and balance. Okay, gonna have to keep going and stay in one piece. I know this video is very much more needed to have a good stunt of perfection, but I'll have to keep that in mind just to have some very alternative by solution to go by differences in original and the next day by alternate. But I'll have to leave it to myself. That's why I just had to make that part of the race and go smooth sailing on the set. Just listen to the sound of the rain just splashing on the asphalt on every part of the track. Okay, Portilla is coming back. Only 1.3 seconds, then going down in 0.5. That's why I had to go overdrive and improvise. I see him right now. Come on, gonna have to push my puppy up. Going shaking away. 1 more lap to go. It's on the 9th lap and go to the penultimate. But I'm not giving up yet. I've always had to stay on intermediate to face the weather condition on the surface to go more modest and a little heavier. Gonna take my time, don't push myself. Only 2.2 seconds on Ed Portilla, along with Angel Inestrosa from position 3. Okay, I see Simon Bishop from the last position by calling out in the blue zone. Blue flags out, Dan climbing up on sector 3. Come on, just gonna have to get in there and get in the fight. Slow and steady. Apex, apex, help me out. Okay, that's good signal. Got to follow the light. Then proceed onward into the final lap. Racing up to go faster again, and the tight surfaces to go for only one heavy purpose on the grid to be entered on the 10th lap, viewers. This is it. The 4th race turns out what's left of it for every Group 1 cars during the participation of the prototype series is still go by additional. Now all I have to do is gonna stay in first place to be well defended, and the progress will have to go adding up by the percentage before 2 more to go by remaining. I hope Michelin Raceway World Atlanta is about to be coming up soon in the next video on part 134. That's why I'll have to get down to it, and yet the light surfaces of the rain is still coming around to be a bit lighter, and surfaces are still remain to be more modest than heavier. Got to stay on the line. Got to follow Simon's position on the 19. Gotta watch the gap and sector to go follow through. Koke Lopez in the Alpine Vision Gran Turismo 2017 is moving up on the third by overtake Angel Inestrosa at position 4. Just stay behind the Jaguar SJR9. Going in, then drop the hammer. Now that's a very good, tough, challenging experience, just like racing from the GTWS Nations Cup at the same track on Fuji. Race number 4 is in the can, and more practices to face up on the wet surface during the 10-lap race. But in the end, just try to keep your cool and stay well purpose balanced during the middle of the race when the rain comes in. But total time is 18 minutes, 22.489 seconds, and faster lap time I took from number 3 is 1 minute, 32.297 seconds. But lesson learned, always have to stay on a good grip when using intermediate or heavy wet tire during the race that you really need to keep a good watchable reminder. But no clean race bonus at this moment, just only 175,000 Gran Turismo credit and 58.6 miles to have one decent attempt of practice to go, adding up by 28 miles equals 86.6 miles. But very good to have the first part on the dry weather forecast, then rain forecast on the second part. Only one replay needs to be required. Let's see. Let's have a good suitable position to go by full straightaway or few other corners to be on elevation. Gonna make one pause right over here. Okay, that should do the trick. Then exit. So be on the lookout, viewers. The same part of the race and alternative to have a matter of perspective will have to be at a good, clean perfection without having contact and taking too much grip by taking too much oversteer during the rain on Fuji Speedway when you're entered on the Group 1 prototype series. Such much more thrill and intense competition for prototype race car from the World Endurance Championship. But always have to be sure to do a bit more practice till you have to get it right. So progress on Group 1 prototype series is 66%. Then race number 5 on penultimate will be going by date schedule at Michelin Raceway World Atlanta for only 30 minutes. After World Atlanta, the final race at Grand Valley Highway 1 is going to be a much more far difficult challenge, just like Suzuka Circuit, Daytona International Speedway, C-Course on Circuit de Saint-Cloix, followed by Michelin Raceway World Atlanta and Fuji Speedway. But very good, and more practices to come, and of course to be on a deadline reminder to have available 4 races on weekly challenges before the next video. We'll have to be ready and wrap this up before at the end after the car collection to be stopped by at the GT Cafe. So let's acquire to get 3 Honda vehicles and 1 SF19 Super Formula / Honda 2019 will be unlocked. Congratulations! You got all 3 cars. This completes your Honda race cars collection. Once you collect your present, I got some stories to tell you about these cars. Beautiful, perfect, and good scenery on Suzuka circuit that have escaped background image. Honda race car for the collection is complete. Feast your eyes, you guys. We just already got another SF19 Super Formula with a Honda engine version in the 2019 model is now being acquired and added to the car index. Only 1,000 collected points, and total amount is 438,893 points. I'll have to keep this for a while and go by the extra menu number 16 in collection. Honda race car will be on narrative. Much of the innovation behind Honda's engineering was driven by competition, and these 3 are shining examples of that. Company founder Soichiro Honda was a firm believer in the notion that racing improves technology. After racing motorcycles in competitions all over the world, he channeled his experience into building cars. In 1964, 1 year after Honda unveiled its first production car, the T360 pickup, the company earned the distinction of being the first Japanese automaker to compete in Formula One racing. After some hardship, Honda won its first race in the final round of its second year, the 1965 Mexican Grand Prix. The car that made Honda's F1 victory a reality was none other than this Honda RA272. Powered by a Honda-designed B12, this car will go down as a pioneer in the annals of motorsport history. Honda was quick to pick up on the importance of having a designated competition track. Looking to build Japan's first genuine racetrack, Honda helped develop the Suzuka circuit in 1962. The Honda S Series sports car was the first to compete on this track in 1964. And it went on to achieve a class win at the Nürburgring in Germany in the same year. The car became an important part of Honda's motorsport history. As for this F1 machine, the McLaren MP4/4, it was a major player of the 1980s, an era dominated by turbo engines. The 1988 F1 season was brutal for F1 teams that relied on turbocharged engines. This is because 1988 was the year in which tight limits were put on turbo technology. Undismayed, Honda poured all its know-how into fine-tuning the MP4/4 turbocharged power plant. And with its drivers, Hyperion Senna and Alain Prost, McLaren won 15 of 16 races in a single year. Indeed, this collection that wonderfully expresses Soichiro Honda's ardent passion for racing. And that's why, viewers, only 3 kinds of vehicle with 2 Hondas and a McLaren altogether that have a combo of 3 car collection is all about the history of Honda's motorsport. Very good genuine applause, and having some very good kinds of 3 vehicles were only classic from the 60s and one of them in the 1980s. Good job, and 3 best of Honda's well-known cars to be labeled on racing category for only 1 road car. Then next up, extra menu number 17 is the Porsche 911 Carrera RS. Get these 3 kinds of road cars like the Type 901, followed by the Type 964, and the Type 993. Just brilliant to have some 911 Carrera RS that have the same title and include one of them to be titled as Club Sport as a 1995 model. Well, gonna have to take a break and I'll have to continue on. Then let's go for race number 5. So thank you for enjoying watching the video on Gran Turismo 7. I hope you enjoyed. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel for a like, comment, then click the bell for notification on upcoming content videos if you'd like to see. Follow me on DeviantArt, Instagram, Twitter, GT Planet, Patreon, Discord, and more social media platforms. And don't forget to check it out, all of my screenshot images on UDRS Insportech, Vision Total Drama, and DreamArt Livery Style Dispenser presented by myself, Hyperion-Blue-GT, as you may ever welcome at any time. I'll be seeing you guys next time on Gran Turismo 7, and I look forward to see you again in the next video. Keep on racing, stay clean.